Hi guys, hope you're doing well. That was a chair, by the way, not me. um, Listen, I need to thank everyone for all the comments and the emails that I received on my last two videos about road rage and aggressive driving. Some of the horror stories that you sent me were just unbelievable, and really, some of them are really, really sad. And I can't read them out because they're personal to you lot. I get that, but some of them really make you think that the world is just a crazy place. But anyway, let's park that now. It's something that happens the world over quite clearly, and it is getting worse. In fact, someone sent me a link to a video of Goofy, Walt Disney Goofy, made back in 1950. I'll see if I can pin that on my last video, and it was about road rage back then, 75 years ago. Wow, and it was very, very apt. Very good. Guys, before I talk about the Royal Enfield 750s, I've been talking about it with my friend last night, which has prompted, we were watching a video, Moto Bob, and yeah, we started talking about the 750s, and I thought I'd just run it past you lot. Before I do, it is very, very cold at the moment. I might look like I'm not cold, but I'm freezing. I really, really am. But I have just ordered a pair of heated motorbike gloves for the very first time. And I don't know if they're going to fit, because that's the usual problem with me and anything that I wear. It doesn't fit. But I've bought a pair, Black Friday deal. They'll be here tomorrow. So I'm very excited about that. But not only have I got a pair of motorbike gloves, heated motorbike gloves on the way, but my sister, when she came and visited from Australia, she brought me a present, and I'll show you them. I'll show you one. How big are they? These are called Uggs. And everyone seems to have known about Uggs except for me. I think I might have heard of them, but I didn't really understand what they were. This is them. And this is what an Ugg boot looks like in a size 14. But, and I have to say, when it comes to the spring and the summer, I'm going to rent these out for a family of 4 to live in. Because they are massive. And the other thing about these, are they called, I mean, they're not particularly attractive, are they? Are they called Uggs? Is that short for ugly? I don't know. I'm being honest. I'm being serious now. Is that really what they're short for? But guys, if you suffer with cold feet, then these are the answer, honestly. And I've got size 14 feet. And so that's a lot of body part cold if my feet are cold. And this is a game changer. I've been wearing them all the time indoors, and they keep my feet really, really warm. So my sister's a genius. Her friend that owns the company that makes these, and she said, can you make a pair in a size 14? They had to kill a couple of extra cows, I think, but they're a game changer. Uggs. I'm not getting money to promote them, by the way, but they're just so good. Right, guys, let's talk about Royal Enfield 750 in all guises. So I read a thing online from the CEO of Royal Enfield, who said that the Hemi 750 isn't quite ready for production yet. They're still doing testing on it, and it possibly will be at EICMA 26, so next year, which is great. And I know a lot of people that are really interested in that bike. I'm not one of them, although I mean I'm interested in it, but I'm not interested to buy it. But the other bike that obviously is going to be coming out, I would have said, what, the end of next year, I think they're saying, is the Royal Enfield Continental GT 750. Now, they showed the prototype at EICMA and a couple of other bike shows, I think, and that looks really, really nice. Again, it's not a bike that I'll be comfortable on, but does that mean, do you think, that that is the beginning of another release of 7 different models in the 750 range? Do you think they're going to do the Interceptor, the Shotgun, the Super Meteor, the Bear, the Classic, the Bullet, all in the 750? I mean, I don't know. I guess they're going to. And know what Royal Enfield's like. They've really gone to town on the 650 engine, and they've brought out 7 different models of it. So it seems reasonable to think that they will do the same with the 750. And if they do, would you buy one? And would you sell your 650 Royal Enfield to upgrade, if you want to call it an upgrade, or get more power out of the 750. I'm really interested to know. And what is the horsepower going to be? Is it going to be 60 horsepower, 65, or is it going to be less than that? I don't know the answers, guys, and I'm hoping that you might be able to tell me. But it's very exciting. My friend who I was talking about this with last night is very excited about the thought of a classic 650. He likes the classic 650s coming in the 750 because he's hoping that it's going to be 60 brake horsepower, and he said that will make a big difference. And he thinks that if Royal Enfield do bring out a 750 Interceptor or a classic, then that's going to be raising their level up to the T100, Triumph T100 level. Now, I'm not sure, although I think the fit and finish now on the latest Royal Enfields, I really think is up there. And I'm sure a lot of you are going to say, no, it's nowhere near Triumph. I've had Triumphs, I've had two, and I've also had a Super Meteor Royal Enfield and an Interceptor. I don't think the Interceptor was up to that level, but I think the Super Meteor was. And the bikes I've seen since then, like the Classic 650 and the Bear, I think definitely up there, fit and finish wise. I think they look really, really good. So maybe he's right. Maybe the T100's sort of crown will be slightly dislodged by an Interceptor 750. Who knows? Let me know your thoughts. I'm sure you will. Would you buy one? This is the thing that I want to know. And when do you think it's going to happen? And also, they're just releasing the Bullet 650, aren't they? And so they can't release the Bullet 750 for at least, well, maybe if they do it year on year on year, it'll be 7 years till the Bullet 750 comes out. But will they do that? Will they do the full range of 750s? I don't know. The Hemi 750, I think there's a lot of people that would like that bike. And if that's 60 brake horsepower again, and I'm just guessing at the brake horsepower, obviously no one knows, then I guess that would be a really nice adventure bike to have. And I was talking to someone else the other day, and he said to me, I would give both my kidneys, which I don't think you're going to be very well if you give both your kidneys. I'd give both my kidneys to have a Hemi 750 before next year, because he's looking for a new bike. And that's how much he wants a 750 model. And then he said to me, what would you really want? And I said, well, I would give one of my livers for a Classic 500, a new Classic 500. That would really excite me. A single cylinder 500 engine would be very exciting. I know I've had the old Classic 500, but I mean, based on the new 350, that sort of engine, yeah, the modern engine, the J series. If they could rebore it, could they rebore it to a 500? I don't know. I guess they would have done if they could have. I don't know. That would be really exciting for me, because however much I love that Bullet 650, and I really do love it, I think it looks great. I just, over the last few days, I've been out on Ernie 2, my Classic 350, and I hadn't ridden for a couple of weeks, and I forgot just how much I love that engine. And it's the engine that does it for me. And I know it's only 20 brake horsepower, but I happily cruise along on the A road at 60 miles an hour, no problem. And they're the only roads that I ride, the A roads and country lanes. I don't go on the motorways very much, but it can. It's not ideal, but you can do it. But happily cruising at 60 miles an hour, and that's all I need. That's all I need. And just the sound and the feel of that J Series 350 single cylinder engine is what I love so much about the Classic 350. I love the look of it as well, but it's the engine. And I not forgot, but I just needed to be reminded a little bit when I got back on it the other day, just how nice that engine is. And I think you'd lose that, or I would lose that on the 650 twins. No matter how nice the Bullet 650 is, and it is lovely, it's not a single. And I just love the feeling that single cylinder engine makes me feel. It just makes me feel really calm and content with the world. And for those of you who don't experience, have never had a ride on it, you'll probably think I'm weird, but I know there's a lot of you that understand what I mean when I say that. It's one of those bikes that just makes you feel calm. But the 750, is that going to raise Royal Enfield up to a different level? I I can't count the amount of comments I've had over the years of people saying, if only they made something with more power. Hundreds and hundreds of comments saying that. So if and when they do, is that just going to take them to the next level? I mean, because I've kind of not fallen out of love with big, powerful bikes, and I know that 750cc isn't big and powerful, but I think that I would love to see a 750. I would love to see a 750 Interceptor, for example. I'd love to have a ride of it and just to see what difference it is. I mean, 47 brake horsepower to me on the 650s is more than enough. But then I'm poodling about on less than 25 brake horsepower on both my bikes. So, but I think it will make a big difference to a lot of people. And then will everyone sell their 650s? And will there be a load of second-hand 650s on the market? Who knows? Or will it just bring in a new buyer, people that haven't bought Royal Enfield before because they're not powerful enough? Or both? Can you see why I don't sleep at night? Right, let me spin the camera around because I want to show you my fairy growler. I'll never tire of looking at this bike, and I know I say it every video, but I'm going to continue saying it because a lot of you still doubt that I won't have this bike. Someone said it will be gone by Christmas, and I actually I said to him, we'll have a bet if you like. This bike will definitely not be gone by Christmas or next Christmas. It will be here for a long, long time. And I think the same with this. This is a great bike, and what would I get to replace it that means I can ride in the winter and yeah, I mean, it's such a great bike. Oh guys, so another email that I get, quite a common question, is about my number plate. Now, people are asking me if it's legal, and I'm guessing you're asking about the actual number plate, which is obviously a private number plate that I bought. Well, I didn't buy it, actually. I won it in a competition with my friends when we went away for a weekend golf. And instead of betting money, which is what we usually do, we chose a number plate. Each chose a number plate. And the winner over the weekend, the other guys had to pay for the number plate. And I won. So I picked M33 WJT. Obviously, they're my initials. And I thought that one day, this was years and years and years ago, I thought one day I'll own an M3, BMW M3. That never happened. And I thought if I did, it would be the perfect number plate. Anyway, that's legal. The bit that probably isn't quite as legal is the size and the colour. The black and silver is illegal unless you've got a classic bike. I don't know what year it is. It has to be before, but it has to be before a certain year. And then you can have it in the black and silver. So that's and also the size. Now the size, I'm going to show you the original size, the legal size of a number plate in the UK, and that's that. So you can see it's like a windbreaker. It's massive, absolutely massive. If I held that up, I mean, yeah, it's a big difference. So the size is also illegal, but luckily in Suffolk it's legal. Not really. And I have to say, with my old bikes, when I was living back in the southeast, I velcroed my number plates onto the bike so that I could change them if I was riding them out somewhere on the motorway and stuff, because you're more likely to get stopped by the police. And yeah, had industrial velcro. In fact, is this velcro? Yeah, it is. That's velcro. So that pulls off. So yeah, kind of legal, not. But yeah, I don't feel good, so please no criticism. I see so many bikes that have got a smaller number plates than that. I saw a sports bike the other day that had the tiniest number plate. Yeah, I mean, you couldn't read it if you were as close as I am now. Anyway, so that's the number plate bit done. My furry growler, apparently it's been sent. So in the next few days, I will be doing a competition, and I thought of a competition for someone to win it, and I'll show you how it attaches. They are so good, so good, and I'm loving the handlebars, the handguards. That with the heated gloves, yeah, I'll be able to ride anywhere. Very exciting. Anyway, guys, thanks again for all the comments and the emails. I really appreciate them. And if you do feel cold and you've got large feet, or if you've got feet, you can get some Uggs. They're great. All right, guys, have a great day, and I'll catch you on the next one. Ride safe. Love my garage.